I'm Abhinav Gupta. I'm 21 years old. I completed my bachelor's in commerce with the honors degree from Shahid Bhagat Singh College, Delhi University in 2023. And I have applied for master's in management courses for my master's degree abroad. So I always knew that I wanted to go abroad for my master's. But the regular MBA would have taken me like 4, 5 years because that is what an ideal time takes for an MBA from abroad. But I didn't want to wait for so long. That is when in my second year I came across master's in management and I decided to go with it because it was something that aligned with me in terms of the duration of the course as well as the eligibility criteria. So I looked upon the top courses. I was very sure that I don't want to go into the safe colleges or um at the second tier one. I only wanted to get into the top tier ones. So I checked the rankings and website of all the colleges and the top five courses. The top five colleges did contain HEC Paris and SA Business School. These are the only two schools that I applied. I did not apply to any other schools, and by God's grace, I got into Essex Business School. So I gave a GRE and I took coaching from Jamboree for that. My exams got over. The final semester of college got over in May, and I started preparing in June because I knew that I had to give my full focus to GRE. And I knew that it was standardized tests are a bit of my weakness, so I had to give it proper time. So that is why I decided to go ahead with it after my college only. I took online classes because I didn't want to have the hassle of commuting every day. Like, even the nearest center would have taken me like half an hour or so, and I didn't want to waste any of that time. So I decided to take online classes. I did take a demo classes from elsewhere as well, but out of all of those, I found Jamboree to be much better, both in quants and verbal. I especially liked the way of the teaching and the attention that they gave to each student. So that is why I went ahead with Jamboree. For me personally, if I talk about quants and verbal, I always felt that I needs a little more attention when it comes to quants. I knew that I would be able to somehow manage my verbal. So the best thing about Jamboree was that the quants professors who were very good, they gave me extra time, and with each chapter they went very slowly. Uh, the class was a mix of engineering and commerce grads, and they did take everything into account, and they were not like going very fast to according to some student space. So that was very good. And other than that, the personalized attention that I got when it comes to doubt classes, because every Sunday when we I used to solve questions and whatever doubts I had, so I took whenever I got like 10, 12 doubts, I used to have a demo session, doubt session with my quants professor, and he was very kind to have those sessions with me and solve each and every of my doubts. So that is something that I really liked about Jamboree. For me, my weakest spot would be as such no weak spot in this. It's just that I knew that I have to start from the scratch, even though I had maths in 11th and 12th as well as during my graduation. I knew that I had to start from the very scratch. And Jamboree helped me start from the very scratch. They didn't have any assumptions about me in the sense that I have done math, so they would not have to give that much time and attention. But then they help me build each and every concept, even the most basic ones in which we can commit mistakes. So quants part was very much efficiently handled. So when I finished the syllabus, like I gave the exam in September. So after mid-August, my sole focus was on mock exams only. So how I approached is that I first gave a chapter-wise mock test so that I don't have to take the burden of giving the paper for the entire syllabus. So Jamboree helped me with that because their portal has each subject and chapter-wise questions. So the questions they were when I compared it to the actual exam, definitely the Jamboree questions were much harder. but then they prepared me for the worst. And those questions, I used to get like 60-70% in those papers. So like if there are like 40-50 questions in the Jamboree portal for each chapter, I used to score like 60-70%. But then what I did was I religiously saw all my mistakes. I practiced them, and I then gave the exam again and again to reinforce those concepts. So those questions really helped me get a better grasp and of the concepts, as well as improve my speed and accuracy. So for the mock test, I for the Jamboree mock test, I used to, like I mentioned, that I used to score like 60-70%. But then when I started giving the official mock test, which I recommend every student to give, the ETS mock test, the PP1, PP2, and the three purchase test. So in that test, the first mock test that I gave, I got 334, but then out of 340. But then I had already practiced some of those questions, so I kind of remembered those questions. So that was not a very adequate mark, but then on average I was getting like 328, 329, 327. And when it comes to the official exam, that I got a 327 in. So I think the mock exams were a very accurate representation of that. I would not recommend what I did, because honestly I thought that a week ago, a week before, I thought that I would sleep and go well, and like follow every tip that they offer. But then the night before the exam, I just could not sleep. And it wasn't anxiety, it wasn't anything else, but I was just, maybe I was excited and nervous at the same time. So what I did, like I tried sleeping till like 2 a.m., but then I could not. So I got up, I started practicing Manhattan, and I did some Jamboree questions. Then in the morning, I did not sleep at all. But thankfully, in the exam center as well, I did not feel any drowsiness or any sleepiness. So I went to the exam center, and unlike my other exams, such as you can consider class 12 boards, I was very relaxed this time, because I knew I had done everything. I had practiced all the questions, I had done each and everything, and I could not make any more effort. So this was the maximum that I could have done. So I was very relaxed that time, and then I went to the exam center. I gave the exam. I took breaks in between the official breaks that they give of 15-30 minutes, whatever they give. And yeah, then it was a really great experience while writing the exam. We were given, it was a very good environment. We were given noise cancellation headphones. The test went very smoothly because there were no technical errors as such. Scored 161 in verbal and 166 in quants, and I got a 4.5 in essay writing. So the essay writing part, I honestly prepared it and last only, like every GRE aspirant does. So Jamboree professors were kind enough to give us a lot of practice questions when it comes to essay writing. So because I gave the earlier format in which we had an analysis and an argument essay both, so I he helped us prepare well, giving us some even to the he helped us to the point that he even gave us sample lines that we could include in our answers. And that was very fruitful for me, because I went through all of the questions. Because what happens in the exam is that we tend to write something related to history, economics, and political stuff, the things that happen in general. But then since I wasn't in touch with all of those subjects for a very long time, so for say, like let's say I had to write about the black movement or something about American history or constitution. So the Jamboree professors helped me understand all of that, gave me an idea of all the historical movement that might help me write my answers better, shape my answers better, and that is how I practice those questions. So in the final exam, I got two questions. Um, so in the essay writing, I got something related to democracy. Is democracy good or bad? And the other one was an argument type question, in which I got something like, so there was some a mall chain which is getting closed, and I need to analyze if what are the reasons for it and how it could improve. I don't remember the exam exactly now, because it's been like a year or so. Honestly, I think I could have scored a lot more because in the last section, which was a quants one, I felt that maybe I could have picked up the speed at the last few questions. So because I knew those questions as well, it's just that in a bit of hurry because it was the last section, I did commit errors, which I realized later on. So of course, I could have scored a lot more, but then I'm happy with 327. I don't think I would give a reattempt. So, firstly, do not get nervous because I too got nervous if I'll be able to do the GRE exam or not. But don't make it like such a big thing. You can do it if you practice it consistently, but do give it adequate amount of time. And please, please, please follow official sources as well. The GRE official ETS material and the big book, which is the 2002 edition. It is like a Bible for GRE aspirants alongside because Jamboree gave me such good material, so I did not have to refer to any other source apart from the official and the Jamboree material. First thing that now when it comes to quants, so start from the very basic. Even if you think that you do know the concepts, but when it comes to GRE, they know the test makers know how to confuse them, how to um make a seemingly easy problem very difficult because you would think that you know this question, but then it has an alternative, and that is why the option can be D. That is, we don't have enough information to answer the question. So be very, very attentive and consistent when it comes to quants. When it comes to verbal, I learned almost 2,500 words. Again, the lists were given by Jamboree. So be sure to learn at least 10 words every day because you don't know which word might come in the exam, and they do come. So the words are very, very important. And also what I did was from the very first day, I practiced one RC every day. So it took me like in the beginning, it took me like 20-25 minutes to solve one RC, even when it should take ideally 5 to 7 minutes, the long paragraphs. So in the initial days, it took me like 20-25 minutes and I was very demotivated with that. But then I used to be very consistent with that. So follow all the practice all the RCs, as many RCs as possible. And out of every, so let's say if you are practicing from the big book, so out of every 7 questions, try to get at least 4 to 5 correct. That is how you will build your accuracy over time. So these are my tips. And again, lastly, for AWA section, you just need to go through certain historical matters and certain analysis, whatever essay comes in your paper, and then you'll be able to crack those down. So I would only want to say that be very clear of what you want to do. The very fact that I stayed consistent and motivated for taking the GRE exam throughout the 3 month time is I knew the end goal was that I want to take admission, I want to go abroad. So have that motivation and be very consistent, dedicated for doing all the questions that maximum number of questions, because GRE is not about the number of concepts you know, but it's more about the how much you have practiced, how much questions you have solved. So be very consistent with that. My experience with Jamboree has been very fruitful, and had it not been with Jamboree, I don't think so I would have scored 327. So all thanks to Jamboree for that.